Okay, this is Orlando Wilson. What I want to talk about in this video is an aspect of the close protection business, kidnap and ransom business that a lot of people don't seem to realize. Well, maybe those in the kidnap and ransom business understand things, but most in the close protection and risk management business seem to be oblivious to the fact that most criminals, organized criminals, intelligent criminals, will try to exploit a client through extortion or kidnapping rather than assassinate them. Think now why people are assassinated. The only reason to assassinate somebody, to kill somebody, is to remove them from the picture, remove them from a business deal, get them out of the way, or to make an example out of them. If they disrespected somebody, get rid of them as a warning to everybody else not to play silly games. If somebody's kidnapped, that person can be an asset. That person can be used to, again, for ransom, to make money. Can be used to get favors, can be used as a bargaining tool, etc., etc. So again, this is where the wise criminals, and if you're dealing with influential clients, then you can take it for granted that you'll be up against very, very wise criminals. You never underestimate your opposition. The wise criminals will always seek to exploit their target, exploit the client, not just get rid of them unless they have to. Now let me give you a story that goes back a few years. A few years ago, I spent a little bit of time in a Middle Eastern country, which is a little bit volatile at the time. It still is compared to a lot of places. And within this country, there's various organizations, and in this area I was in, there is one recognized terrorist organization. There's a few recognized terrorist organizations, but this one's prominently in this certain area. So an intelligence agency from a neighboring country sent in 2 operatives to assassinate a member of this terrorist organization. Anyway, this terrorist organization had and has, as far as I know, got very good relations with the local government, the local intelligence agencies, the local police, etc. So when these 2 foreign intelligence agents turned up, I take it somehow, whether they reported to, whether they spoke to members of the local security forces, we'll say. I'm not sure, but the local security forces, police, intelligence, military, counter-terrorist groups, etc., knew these guys were there. Maybe they're just very good at knowing who's in their areas. Anyway, they told this terrorist organization, because they got very good relationships with them. And this is where in a lot of places the terrorist groups work very closely with the local security forces. It's business. Everybody makes money. People need security, people need weapons, people have money, so people like money, people want to make money, so everybody gets along. It's for everybody's mutual benefit. Anyway, the local authorities, the local security forces told this terrorist group that, okay, there's 2 foreign intelligence people here and they're going to kill one of your guys. And they gave over information on who these people were and who these intelligence officials were, agents were, where they were, etc., what they knew about them. They expected this terrorist group to assassinate these guys and get rid of them. That's it. If their government had complained, then you know what, these guys were there really illegally to commit an illegal act, etc., so they were deniable. But this terrorist group, being a very, very, as with most established terrorist groups, you've got some very intelligent, wise people running them. This group kidnapped these 2 foreign intelligence guys, which caused a little bit of a big stink for the local authorities, because now people wanted to know who told this terrorist group that these people were in their area, who informed on them, which people did. But now this terrorist group, they had a major propaganda victory because they had these 2 foreign intelligence agents, and they also had a bargaining tool to, I take it, try and get their people released from who were in jail in this other country, get favors, etc., etc. So this is where they turn this situation where they could have easily killed these guys, But why kill these people when they were very, very valuable assets for them? And again, they can be used in multiple ways: propaganda, favors, bargaining tools, ransoms, etc. So this is where you've always got to look, when you're doing your threat assessment, you need to look at your client and say, okay, how could the client be exploited? You have to think like the bad guys. If you understand how the bad guys think, if you understand how the bad guys will operate, then you can counter them. If all you're thinking is the one-dimensional, well, we need to protect the client from physical assault or assassination, you know what? In my world, you're running at like 25%, if that, because you're thinking about, I'd say 25% or less of the problems that the clients could possibly encounter. So, just my thoughts on, well, my thoughts and one story from my experience on why serious criminals and terrorists will always try to kidnap and exploit a client rather than just, or a target, rather than just assassinate them. Assassinations are final, and they're generally there to end a situation or make an example out of somebody. Anyway, follow me along on social media. I've got a lot more of these videos up, a lot more stories. I have an array of books up on Amazon, one specifically to talk about kidnap and ransom. And if you're connected with me on social media, I prefer LinkedIn these days, LinkedIn X. We do have a Telegram group. Risk Incorporated has a Telegram group. Feel free to reach out to me, and if you've got any relevant questions, ask. And I will get back to you in time. In the meantime, be good, stay safe, and as always, try to stay out of trouble.